of Yukamuke, and I'm the moderator of this occasion. And I have to give recognition to some people right here. We know our erudite scholar, Chief Professor OON, everything, an educationist, Chief Ibe, our incoming governor by the grace of God. Yes, please. And we also have Her Excellency, the incoming First Lady of Abia State, Mrs. Joy. And we've already welcomed the APGA chairman. Chairman was formed in his house a couple of years ago, Prince Ezenwokawoke. And yes, thank you. I have to also recognize the founder, President Emeritus of Abia State Association, Sir Ajomiwe Wakama. Yes, thank you. And also I have to recognize the President of Abia State Association, Chief Honorable Emmanuel Idima. Thank you so much. Okay, please, we all know why we are here. We're here to listen to Prof here, our incoming governor of Abia State, highlight some of the projects, some of his mission for Abia State. So I would implore everyone, please, to be very constructive in your questions to him and also make it very brief. Because of time, we don't have time, so we don't really need to have too many introductions. Just state your name and then constructively ask your question, and I will bring the microphone to you. And okay, we have to pray. Pastor Eze? Yes, please hold on.
Thank you for knowing what to do at the right time. God bless you. Father, we give you the glory because you are God. We thank you because there is none to be compared with thee. We pray your presence be with us even here now. Under the roof of this house, we implore your angels to guide us. We seek for your glory, for your presence, for the manifestation of your power. Create in the speaker a new spirit, a new heart, a new voice. Do unto us now what only God can do. That at the end of this meeting and gathering, we will have a cause to glorify your name. Amen. Thank you for everything. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Eze. God bless you too. Just for information purposes, we are live streaming, we are Zooming, okay? So we should all try to comport ourselves, and we have a lot of Nigerians actually viewing us right now. So I think in every way we are Igbos, so we already...
Igbo, Mamana. Yeah. Igbo, Weno. Yeah. Igbo, Rieno. Yeah. Because ejimaka na mmadụ ile nọ nga bụcha ndị Igbo nga anyị nọ taa bụ n'obi Igbo ihe m ji guzoro nga awụ maka na president ndị Igbo anọghị nga ọ nọghị n'obodo ọ omenala na onye anyị shi eshi ma onye bi nga bịara n'obi Igbo anyị nye ya ọjị. So n'aha president anaha ndị Igbo niile anyị na-asị Prọfesọ Greg Ibe nọ ịbịala nọ biko lekwa ọjị ndị Igbo si ka eji nabata gị n'ọgbọ n'etiti ndị Igbo ka i werezie ya mara ihe gị ime Prof lekwa ọjị mgbere aka ịkpa ndị Igbo a na-eme aka ịkpa mgbere aka nri. Good. Thank
you. Akama. Igbo mama na. Aga m asị that n'oke site n'aka onye isi anyị bụ onye Abga wee rute m aka. And emekwene ya na ọnọdụ ndị Abia maasị ka o sitekwa n'aha ndị isikwu atọ na onye isi anyị ka o si ebe ahụ were chọrọ m bịawa, mana ka ọ dị na ya nwasị na ote onye isi ndị Igbo si eme ihe n'aha ya ka ya ji ebupụta ọjị. Ana m eburukwa ọjị a na-ebulakwa tụ ndị butere ya nọ n'aha ndị mena ha so, n'aha ndị Abga niile nọ n'ụwa dum, aha ndị Abga nọ Naịjirịa. Anyị ji anabata ọjị a na-asị unu emeela. Abụrụ ka esi na-ekwu ya n'ala ngwa, ahụghị m ya na onye ọzọ ahụ ya mgbe ọdọ, ahụrụ ya na the same time. So ana m eburukwa ọjị a ka m bunye ha ka ha gọra
New York dịkara anyị ụka ọjọọ. Anyị ga-ata ya atasa wisi, anyị ga-atasa ya atasa wina, anyị ga-atasa ya atasa nsogbu dịrị anyị na-abịa. Ife ga-adị mma, ife ga-adị mma. Aha gị bụ Ibe. Ibe bụ aha siri ike, aha eji eje mba. Ndị be m unu ka dịka m ji kwuo, onye nwe anyị ga-agba anyị ume, anyị eme ihe dum ma mee ya n'udo n'aha Jizọs Kraịst bụ onye nwe anyị.
Okay, while the color note is being passed around, again, because onye chọrọ ịjajiri ya wele aka ya elu deme wetara microphone. Like we said before, because your questions should be very constructive and with respect and humility. Because, all right? Because onye chọrọ ịjajiri ya wele aka. Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead, Prof. Sorry about that.
Mmanụ mgbe ndị nọ ebe a, mgbe ndị nọ n'ụlọ na-ele anya, ana m ekele unu. Ọ ihe ọṅụ na anyị kpọrọ oku ndị mmadụ za mgbe ndị nọ n'igwe eji ekwu okwu, mgbe ndị nọ ebe a. Otu ihe m ga-ebido ikwu bụ onye ka mụnwa bụkwana bụ Professor Gregory Ibe. Professor Gregory Ibe, amụrụ m from Uturu. The actual place of birth was na Kaduna. Before I akpọrọ anyị lọtawa ala Igbo, m were gụọ akwụkwọ m niile gụọ n'ala Igbo, gụkwa n'Enugu, gụọ n'Owerri, mechakwa bịa America, dakwa gụọ akwụkwọ masters na PhD agụrụ m ya na America here. Before we are large way back. Onye jụọ m ka ndụ m si bido, m ga-asọ onye ahụ ya lee ka ya ketu maka mụa. Na age of 21, oge ahụ enwego m my second part on ACCA of England and Wales. So m bido ọrụ as accountant trainee with the Israeli companies. So ọ mụ arụrụ Abia State University, ọ mụ arụrụ Imo Airport, mụ arụrụ Abia Teaching Hospital nọ n'Aba. Before 1987, I transferred to Abuja. I built the old Secretariat Gariki, the former Foreign Affairs, and also contributed to KC Ruo Ebonyi Alano. From there, move Lodge Tebia Nalibo, Ruo Handball Stadium, Nowhere. Nkwere Zulaka Farm, Anambra, Oba Airport, Esut campuses, Nenugu, Newi, and Oka. Oga Heperemupe, but here m kacha too m anya wụ na akwụkwọ mma ama m ọfụma accounting ka m na-arụgide ebe ahụ wee ruo na the age of 26 mmepe my company a na-akpọ Skill G Nigerian Limited. So m nweta ọrụ rụwarụ ndị slumbeja na Port Harcourt turnkey project on their housing complexes just beside Shell. By 27, I had lost my money, 12 million to my business partner. So I felt bad, but I beckoned on my friends and they invited me to Lagos. My visit to Lagos on 14th of May, 92, yielded results. I ended up being marketing manager of Dizengoff West Africa. It was the same Israeli company that was in eastern Nigeria that built Presidential Hotel Port Harcourt, Presidential Hotel Enugu, and all the farm settlements for Nanyuku, our revered Michael Opara. So I started working for them. After 4 years, I moved to HFP as a deputy general manager. So we built all the housing estates you see they're called VGC. From there, we entered into telecommunication. So we were the first company to lay the fiber optic cable from Ekota, 14 kilometers to Sakatinibu. After serving that company for 4 years, I switched to the UNDP because I found favor with them that they gave me to do need assessment in all the 774 local governments of Nigeria. So I moved to all this local government. It took me time. I paid the price of doing need assessment that the United Nations Development Program adopted it in their 4th and 5th country program and asked me to execute skill acquisition centers in this local government. So I wrote my first book, 42 hands-on training models on different skills. So United Nations brought money and wanted to stop urban migration, to give skills to all the local government inhabitants, so that when they have skill, they'll be residing in their communities to practice their skill instead of moving to Abuja or the nearest town. And it was supposed to be inherited by local government. We were on that project. Then I came back to America to complete my program. By the time I finished my program, I was still shuttling here in Nigeria. President Obasanjo came into being. And I started writing to him on the new things that should be done to improve his government. On a Sunday, he called me on phone and said he read my letter and asked that I should come back to Nigeria. So I got back to Nigeria. And when I got to Abuja, I called the number he gave me and they redirected me back to Ota. I was so scared, but at the end I met Mr. President. And he asked me, why do I want the government to be reformed? So I ended up being the reformist. So we started a reform of public service of Nigeria. From there, he made me consultant to over 7 ministries, so that we can do reformation both in education, in maritime, and then in a railway master plan. I was working 24 hours almost to make sure that I meet with what Mr. President said we should do. One thing we know, Mr. President, President Obasanjo, is that every decision he ever took, he never left any village behind. Every decision he took, every state benefited from it. That is President Obasanjo for you. He doesn't want to develop here and the other state is not developed. He even adopted the system of allowing all the ministers and state governors to come and tell Nigerians their stewardship every month. If you go to the Presidential Library in Abia Gubernatorial, you will see everything he has done. He's one president that his decisions can be viewed or seen in all the states and all the local government in Nigeria. How he set up the UBE, which is today the suburb, enhancing schools, our primary schools and the basic education in Nigeria. These are all part of his programs. So having served him until he left power, I continue to offer programs for the UNDP, and presently I consult for the 15 countries of ECOWAS. I go from country to country to do consultations on how to develop those countries. So I still work for UNESCO, UNDP, I still work for them and serve them once my experience is sought for. While I was doing this, I have to meet people in my state to ask them that they can tap into my wealth of experience so that we can improve our state. The opportunities God gave me, I made sure that everybody in Abia benefited. I donated science equipment to the state. I built and completed the teaching hospital, and then the government of the day then still owed me 160 million from 2003 till today, unpaid. So I keep offering my services, opportunities that God could give. I started an NGO and to make sure that people 70 years and above are treated, because my paper I wrote in the US here, because I have a master's degree in healthcare. It was on longevity. So I decided to adopt it in 1991 to start to see how I can elongate life, because the life expectancy was dropping in Nigeria, that 52-year-old boys are becoming the oldest men in the community. So I started to do a lot to make sure that we have the elderly people that have retired. Instead of going to drink in the morning, no money for food, because there's a slogan that I normally use. A young man can live without money, but old men cannot live without money. Because if an old man has no money and has no opportunity to go and work, the next thing is to die of hunger. So pensioners were not receiving their money, problem every day, so they seek for food. And I started to share food across the state. By 2020, of course, we all knew what COVID came to bear. It came hard, and I arrived here on the 6th of March, few weeks after the lockdown of the US. And I felt that the world has come to an end. I know that we all felt the same way. And you can see Abia. Businesses were going down. The necessary support required by our parents who are pensioners, they were not benefiting from anything. So I decided to do a large chunk of donation to the state government to share food to everybody. When those things that I gave to the state, including my ambulances and my test kits, because I have a company in Nigeria that 4 years before 2020, I was selling molecular labs to NCDC and all the hospitals in Nigeria. But I succeeded that in Abuja, almost everybody had a molecular lab. Because when you use molecule to carry on a test, you can find new diseases like Zika diseases, COVID. That's the only machine you can use. So I have those machines in Nigeria. So I helped the state. Furthermore, when they were being delayed, I decided to intervene to make sure that every ward, 292, 94 wards in Abia State, they had food to eat. So my university was moving food in and out of our state. But one question comes, how did I get to this university program? How did I become an owner of a university? When I started working with the UN and President Obasanjo, I started to review and reform education. I would spend so much money to change the curriculum so that we can meet with the 21st century attitude. Because our children were no more studying mathematics and sciences. So Obasanjo gave me authority to find what could be used to meet with our present circumstance in Nigeria. We sit under the tree to teach. Some people within the riverine areas are having difficulties to teach science, talk less of mathematics. So that's what has given rise to 80 to 90% of our graduates in Nigeria are coming up with arts and lawyers or arts humanities. So Obasanjo said this trend must change because we are looking futuristically that we need to imbibe science in all our younger ones. The first research that I gave him was I went to NYC camps and it was about 100,000 NYC intake. Out of the NYC, 80% studied humanities and arts. 20% studied science and professional science courses. But in this 20%, only 20% of the 20% are doctors or optometrists. The rest study zoology, and they were compulsorily sent to study those courses. So Nigeria, facing the world, it will be very critical for us. So President Obasanjo says we must reverse that trend. And then I had to redevelop the curriculum for teaching of mathematics and science in a way that if you're under the tree, you can teach science, you can teach mathematics. If you're in a typical classroom, you can teach science. If you're in a lab, you can teach science. So it was codenamed the Skill G Labless Lab Kit. I got UNESCO's approval and nod and award for what I have done in making sure that Nigerian people can study science wherever they are. Those are still in Nigeria till today. The new order in UNESCO became that STEM is now taking the center stage across the world. So I started to develop new curriculum on STEM with my Israeli partner, Dr. Moshe. So every day I'm in Israel, I'm here in the US thinking and going to schools to know what's going on. I go to Geneva to see what is the new thinking. So I now developed another curriculum for the polytechnics and the universities. By the time I finished the curriculum, we produced the equipment in Israel, and those were adopted. We have 73 state and federal universities in Nigeria. I don't know if anybody can look at the paper I gave you. You can see a map of Nigeria somewhere. You can see a map of Nigeria somewhere. And it's second to the last page or so. Yeah. We have 73 state and federal universities. We also have 61 College of Education and Mono, Poly. And then we'll have 51 polytechnics, as God will have it. Those things that I developed are in use in all the schools in Nigeria. That's why when you look at Nigerian map, you will see that all the things on the legend there are projects I've executed across Nigeria. So those things are not there for jokes. These are what I have succeeded in doing in Nigeria. And my consulting, my thinking has worked for my country, Nigeria. And then teachers were being retrained. The next stage wanted to adopt is resource centers where we can train teachers to modern pedagogies. And the Osun State government, by Oyinola, gave us to build the first resource center. World Bank came there and praised the center as #1 in Nigeria. So that we have gone around all the states and thought that they should build a resource center where teachers can be retrained on a monthly basis or during the vacation period. But unfortunately, it has not happened. So you see that it's garbage in, garbage out. Having succeeded in all the schools in Nigeria, and I was thinking, what else is left for us to do? Technical education was lacking. Nigerians have the best brains, and I must be proud of my people. I give you an example. When I was in Dizengoff, the cost of split units by 1992, 93, 94 was about 235,000 naira. So I decided to join my bosses to Israel, and I told them that I can assemble air conditioners in Nigeria if it comes knocked down. If you bring it home, you will pay 75,000 naira surcharge. But if you come knocked down, you pay 5%. So I started as non-engineer by assembling technicians in a Butameta and a Jegunle. And I taught them the act of having the sense of belonging, to know that we produce goods. We can do it. At the end, we started producing Barton air conditioners, split units, and then we crashed the cost of air conditioners from 235 to 125. It's on record. You can check in Nigeria within this period. So I was able to move the turnover of Dizengoff from 30 million to 150 million and then to 300 million. That was before I was asked to come to join HFP. And in HFP, I also assisted the government when it mattered most to stop the activities and the war ravaging West Africa. I played a very significant role for Nigeria. At the end of what I have achieved in education, I said this technical education must be achieved. World Bank adopted it. Oyinola adopted it, and they gave us contract to change the landscape in Osun State with 9 technical colleges. And we imported everything, and right now we have completed the first 4. The people that succeeded him has delayed this project up till now from being commissioned because they were not seeing what he saw. And then in Ekiti State, I have also built one for World Bank, where all African countries fly in to go and see what 21st century technical education ought to be. Now World Bank is trying to sponsor it in all the states in Nigeria. I'm also the technical person involved in that project. Because once I started, so I came with my equipment and I started to teach entrepreneurship. I was the first professor of entrepreneurship education. And then while I was teaching in APSU, issues came, and they didn't like my approach by stopping multiple choice questions for our graduates. So at the end, we went to court. After 18 months, I was discharged. That I only meant well. Having thought of what to do, I said, university, I can do it. So that's how I built Gregory University. It wasn't Gregory University before. I first went to Abia in Obingwa, that I want to build Abia University. They sent me packing. So I left with Justice Zima leading me. I went to Werenta. The land they gave me wasn't enough. So I tried my best. Even in Ungwa High School, it didn't work before I went home. The federal government said it shouldn't be called St. Gregory because they are St. Gregory University in New York. So I just T-Pexed the XT and it became Gregory University. Luckily, my name is Greg and my patron saint is Saint the Pope, Gregory. So that's how it has that name. And we started gradually with 3 colleges. But today we are proud that we have 10 colleges, and our first set of medical students will graduate from next year. We have medical and allied sciences, from radiology to physiotherapy, to optometry, to nursing, everything that has to do with allied. We have the best PharmD college in Nigeria. We're proud to say we have it. So all these courses are almost 62 in number. We have law, we have postgraduate, we have engineering. Everything I have ever dreamt of or I have seen across the world, I have brought it down to Uturu. And I was the first private university in Imo State and Abia State. They never expected it to be where it is today, but luckily for us, as God would have it, the university is growing, is doing well. We are building a 1,000-bed teaching hospital today. When you will see the video, you will see that they are doing the partitioning of all the wards right now. I'm doing the gas connection. It is not easy to do those things. So, but let me go a little bit to why I am coming into politics. The first question would be why leaving what you are doing and you are going into politics. I didn't stop at this university. I have supplied so much to all these students of learning and trained their technologists. Those graduates that use my equipment are now technology-minded. But I want them to come with the brain so that we can start developing new products, because idea rules the world. In planning it, I and my partner and my GM, May Dagan, we now sat down and converted my facilities in Abuja. After I was awarded by the UN as the Center for Transformative Education in Africa, it was awarded to me for my university. So I decided to build the first innovation hub in Africa. This innovation hub is in Abuja. It attracts everybody all over the world. If you look at the pictures of what I gave to you, you will see you'll see it here, the Innovation Center. And I'm happy that by November last year, the American Embassy and Anthony Blinken visited and spent 3 hours with us at the center for what we have done for Africa. See, all the countries in the world are coming over there. The university is functioning. The international acclaimed hub is working. And I feel that I belong to a state that ought to be more better off. I tried to come into politics in 2013, 2014. Our governor then, Senator T.A.O.G., because of how close I am to him, he told me that we must adopt zoning. Abia Charter of Equity, that it must go to the south, and requested that I should step down. I bought the forms, I did everything that I was fully prepared. On the 7th of December 2013, I withdrew and stepped down for Governor Ibazo. And I wrote a letter to the party to agree that when it comes to 2023, they will allow Abia North to present a candidate. Elders of Ukwangwa came to our house in 2019, to my house particularly, and we agreed. So I started supporting everything the governor needs from well-meaning Abians. I did all I could. Unfortunately, we are in the period of electioneering campaign. After I had surgery here, I heard there was a new timetable. Against the doctor's wish, I took off. And I have fought hard. I went around the state, I took permission from the governor, he gave me his words to continue. About the time I had done 2 rounds. And when they talk about 2 rounds, it talks 2 rounds of expenditure, meeting now the delegates after going around the first one. So it was zoned to Central and to Abia North. It wasn't making good meaning to me because my understanding was it should come to the North. So argument became so much in the states. Effort to talk it over with the governor and his team wasn't right. They were not telling what was right. So I decided that I would join the Igbo people, my people. Why do I want to join my people? Is because I am one of the pioneers that have been organizing World Igbo Summits at my university for the 50-year visioning document. And I have completed all the books for 50-year visioning document, how the Igbo land will be. I've been the strategic consultant to Ohanese. We have been looking at how the Igbos can come together. But each time they tell us that we should also be part of the central government, that it will help. During Obasanjo, okay, we belong to central government, it paid off. Since then, has anything paid off for Igbo? The answer is no. So it now calls or beckons on Igbo to now choose the pathway to follow. Since nobody accepts us in PDP, nor APC to give us presidential candidates, it is a red signal for all of us that we should come together as Igbo on one umbrella called APGA. Once all of us come under one umbrella, APGA, the rest of the country will be worried about us. Imagine the population of registered voters in Nigeria. How many that is from the southeast and other zones of the other 5 zones. And I can assure you that in all the other zones, be rest assured that we have votes that if you put it together, we shall surpass everybody. So the Ohanese, led by Professor Biozo, started to reach out to every political-minded person that APGA should come together and all Igbo should go to APGA so that we can have a negotiating platform. That was what gave me the impetus to say that since my university belongs to Igbo, I gave my shares on tithes, 5% to Scripture Union, 5% to Anglican Church, 5% to Methodist Church, 5% to Catholic Church. They are part of the owners of my university. Why did I do it? Because I schooled in Methodist school. While I was in Methodist school, Boys High School in Hube, I became a Scripture Union member. They molded my life. And my teacher, whom I lived with, is an Anglican lay reader, Sir C.A. Ododo, late, from Bise. So I started going with him to do revival service to secondary schools, to Anglican churches. Yet I was a Catholic. So he allows me on Sunday to go and do my Catholic church, but other weekdays I'll make sure that I work for Scripture Union or prepare using Bible concordance to prepare his Bible reading and choir. So these 4 churches that trained me, or I had experience with, I had encounter with Almighty God. So I gave them part of the university. So that while my family retains 80%, then they will retain 20%. If we make the more profit they make, the churches will also use it to do the work of God. This university and all other universities in Nigeria are seeing the benefits that I provide for them. I train all their technologists in my university in Uturu. I don't fail accreditation because I have all it takes. So I prepare other universities in that line. Even at the State University, they use my lab to carry on accreditation. I have spent so much money to develop the Amajara specialist hospital so that my medical students can use there. And then I signed an agreement with the federal government on FMC. And I'm developing hostels inside FMC. Until my own teaching hospital is ready, I will abandon all those expenditures right there to keep improving the rest of Abia and their medical students. Today, they've cancelled the accreditation for the medical school, the hospital I built in Aba. It hurts me, but my own is on. But I'm ready to do and work hard to make sure that our children are not at home. Same with the polytechnics that are having issues today. I've done my best to make sure that I assist the board and the management so that we can have them to have a continuous education, because we shouldn't leave any child behind. I go a little bit back again to this politics. When they dropped me and said they are doing zoning, and the governor Bartouch to become Shalangwa. So I had already, I switched to APGA, and I'm happy, and that is ordained by the Almighty God. Because when I got to the national chairman, Ozombu, he said these things are divine. That of all the people on this earth that Ibe has come to APGA, the man that only speaks and die of Igbo cause. So everybody welcomed me. It wasn't an easy task to get through to the primaries, but I'm happy that I got through the primaries. The people of Abia saw the potentials. From the past 24 years till today, whoever that has ruled Abia stood for us as governor. I don't think they can compare with me in type of expenditure or in type of investment I have in Abia. They don't have, most of them might not have any address, rather it is politics. I am calling on every Abian to give me the opportunity to turn around our state. Whatever our past governors have achieved, whether they saw it beyond their nose or they did not see it, the issue is that their aircraft has landed and they've completed all that they ought to think about or they knew. But because I want to pilot these affairs, I will pilot it in the right way that is required for development to catch up. That's why I named my document in a roadmap to new Abia. This document you have here, this is the first of its kind that has the content it has, because I'm coming to speak to my New Yorkers. I live here. All my family were here. I am going to represent the New Yorkers, the Americans, to make sure we develop Abia State. we cannot be shouting that there's no government in Nigeria or in Abia State when people like us are available. So it means my success is our success. Amen. We have all of you with different experiences that we can deploy down there, and we have the best PS schools. We have to have decentralized system of governance. It's all contained in this roadmap. Local government by local government, you will see what you will benefit the local government. It's all contained here. Different from what will come as a general course. I am prepared to make sure that the language that was told to me or was mentioned to me by the Secretary of State, he says, can we see a state in Nigeria that have the right thinking or habits that we borrowed or we learned from the US? I said, I am working to make sure that those things are done, having seen my innovation hub. I cannot do this alone, but we all that are living in the US have the greatest opportunity to go and develop Abia State. We are Abians. When I call you to come and do something, you should please come and do it, because we are not going to run a government of godfatherism, because God is our godfather. I'm not fighting any person that has ruled. I'm coming there to bring America to the table. Amen. They say the road cannot be constructed during rainy season. During snow here, roads are constructed. Am I correct? Yes. So we are going to deploy. If you're an engineer, anything you've learned and practiced here, be rest assured that you are heading back to Nigeria. Yes. The cost implication. My wife is a QS. The rate of job has to be the rate that is prevailing at the place you are going, is it not? Yeah. So if you are bringing 5 persons from the US, these are the people that you will charge the fees for the US and your equipment. So we that worked in World Bank in UN, we always used to 25% profit. So let us come and develop Abia instead of complaining or saying that this did not do it well. This one, it is the turn of all Abians in America to come back home and let us develop Abia State. I have sent what I'm doing in Aba, because the more I release document, the more they copy it and they start discussing it. It hurts me each time. I'm doing the redesigning of Aba. I sent it out today, right? I sent it out today. You will see the design I've done in Aba. I'm doing a new design of home. I've given my word to critical stakeholders of APGA. The Ozonku, the national chairman, the deputy national chairman, luckily is from Abia State. They've asked me 1 million times that deliver Aba, make Aba great. So my slogan for Aba is mega, make Enyimba great again. That is the slogan for Aba that is adoring all our posters there. So I lived in Aba, I lived in Umule, in Ebacha, and later lived in Obingwa. I'm sincerely sure that the state of emergency I will declare in Aba will make Aba great again. And all the businessmen there knows that I've assisted them when they needed dollars to do their businesses in this world, when it matters most. But let's look at security. there are certain things that you don't speak publicly because I'm part of that security system. I buried my father in December, and it was the height of the kidnap. But I did my security arrangement to the extent for 2 weeks you could drive any time in the night. Once you are on the express, you are heading to Uturu, you can go and sleep. So I have done security work across West Africa that I know what to do. If I make it open, it will not be security any longer. But be rest assured that if it comes to the point where the major boundaries that link us with people are identified as a critical area, we wouldn't mind to do a fencing there. Because remember that I have an Israeli background. We must make sure we protect our people. We can't go to farm any longer. There's trouble everywhere. So, but Abia State, we want to make sure that it remains quiet. They are kidnapping around Okigwe in a very severe bend. But while I was here, I had to deploy earth-moving equipment to cut down the hill to make sure that if you are applying that way, you can see your view, and then you can apply and move on. You can check the social media, you can see what I've done there. So whatever is the situation, we shall address it and to make sure that everybody is safe. Because I want to walk the streets of Abia safe. Same way is to assure every American. When Obama was in government, they asked me to bring my father to the State Department. So my father, the king, they came, we went to State Department. He asked, what do I need most? I said, what I need most is that Americans should visit Abia. If you can go down the memory lane, you can see where he lifted Americans traveling to Nigeria, that Abia State is safe. I did it. And he approved it for me then. Just to tell you that I'm part of a lot of activities. So, but when the time comes, just be rest assured that security is the critical, essential issue that has to do with man sustenance in life. Food, security, water, all these are essentials of life. And then I will definitely work on it.
Thank you, Prof. Please, when you ask your questions, could you please state your name so we can take record? And where you come from, Mazi?
Abia kwenu, Abia kwenu, Igbo kwenu, Nigeria kwezonu. Onye isi obi dị m ụtọ ahụ Maazị Ogbonna, abụ onye Ofim Isukwu Atọ na New York. Obi dị m ụtọ otu si bịa, otu imeziri ya abịa. Obi dị m ụtọ otu si gwa ihe ga-eme. Aga m akwụkwọ na-ekwe n'isi gị, amenye gị na nke ahụ. Ebe ị kwuru ihe niile esi na ị chọrọ ime, Two questions only, short. One, please. You have told us all your strength. Can you tell us your weak point? Number one. Number two, in the first 100 days, can you tell us what you can do in Abia? Thank you so much. Mazi Ogbonna.
Thank you, ma'am.
And there was I don't know why this question keeps recurring. I spoke to one of the governors in Nigeria. He said he has tried to contact everybody that knows me. He has tried to reach out to everybody. What is the bad side of eBay? That he didn't get any reply. and that he's now asking me, please, do you have a bad side? I said, sir, I'm 58 years old. I'm married at the age of 23. Everything God has given to me, because I followed all his ways up till now. What essence will it be for me to have a bad side? Lying to you because I need money from you, or cheating you? I've served all Nigerian presidents and head of states. So my name can only be Ibe and no more. I have not been called up by anything, crime, anywhere. My name is everywhere I've walked. Go there and find out what I've done. My bad side is that you cannot try to cheat me in any form, because I'm an accountant, I'm a healthcare officer, I'm studying now to become a criminal justice expert, I'm a construction engineer. If you come with any proposal that you want to hide figures, IEB will not allow it to work. That's my bad side. So if you are coming to me, be prepared, fully prepared, because I'm prepared as a person. So if you don't cheat, then you are my best friend. Thank you. And then 100 days. 100 days. From May 29 to 100 days, I see people celebrate 100 days, what they've done, what they've not done. Some people will say there's no money at their disposal. There's no money left in the government. But one thing is clear: human capital development is so important to all of us. The educational system in Abia State that has nosedived, once you can kickstart those human capital and get the pensioners up and running, and there will be face of people. In entrepreneurship, we say, who contributes to the GDP? Anybody that contributes to GDP is a critical person, which means the woman that sells granite in the market contributes to the GDP. You must uplift them. You must create more human capital that are helping to improve the GDP of the state. I might not be seen to show you this or that, but I will concentrate first in repositioning the human capital of Abia State that is on the lowest ebb now. Everybody is in pain. Everybody is in pain. As soon as I get them to the level I want in 100 days, the rest will follow. I have my full plans about 100 days, what will happen and what will happen beyond 100 days. I am going into action. I want to reside in Umuahia. I don't want to reside in Uturu. I'm employed by Abians to be in Umuahia and develop the state. So I will be in Umuahia. The pains of every average person in Abia will be my pain. And until I remove you from that pain, I will not have rest. So by 100 days, you will see what I will.
Okay.
Biko, I'm making legi in Abia. Ndewo for considering to see us first. Because only one thing animal kunobi, and here an animal kunobi war about pensioners and retirees. And they some of them went to the in America, mono somewhere in Yonhaga. It hurts my feeling every time. Aberas neji the pensioners neji hogo nana hogo. The question will be, how do one expect these people to survive?
So, achọrọ m ịjụ gị biko ndị hichere maka ya ka hapụ nye ndị ọzọ chance aha mbụ Chief Imedima or the President of Abia State Association. They will, I'm not into this with you because you have a good vision. Thank you.
Okay, I understand that we have an online question, Prof.
Okay. Yes. Yes, correct. Because no one identified. Yes, I know. Okay, go ahead. Uchenna Okabuo. Yes, yes, yes. The microphone. The national chairman of
This night in Nigeria and this evening in the US. There's something very striking that he just said, which is what is lacking in the planning of our governments in Nigeria. Each time they will tell you it is rainy season, it is that and that and that, so because of that, roads cannot be built. But Professor Greg just made my evening when he asked the question, are roads not built under snow? I lived in Houston, Texas before going to Nigeria. If you listen to him pray very properly, you will also discover that he is coming to deliver. Most of the governments we have had in Abia State, or we have in Abia State, they don't have a second address. Greg Ibe is coming with a second address. I listened to all his achievements, all he has done in Abia State, all his investments in Nigeria. I'm not sure that we have ever had such law in Abia State. So my appeal as a party chieftain and as the Deputy National Chairman of APGA is for all of you in the diaspora. If you cannot come to join us, tell your dependents at home where to go. We are committed, we are ready to liberate Abia from what it has been over time. Professor Greg, I thank you for that revelations. We are waiting for you in Nigeria to come and do all that we know you can do best. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Because they don't align. Onye ọzọ chọrọ ikwu okwu biko mee ka anyị mara ka Prof nwee ike nweta ihe ndị chọrọ ikwu. Thank you.
Ekelenu. Prof. Onye nwere gosi anyị. Aha m bụ Apostle Eze Chimerem. Ekelela m President Ndabia. Ọ dị ha kwuru. Ọ jụrụ ajụjụ banyere ndị na-akwụsị n'ọrụ bekee. Na-enweghị mmadụ nọ n'obodo oyibo nwere ike na-agawa ụwa. Ya ga-ajụ sị dị ụtọ a ga-ime ndị a ịsakwa nna a ga-ekelela gị ebe ọ dị ukwuu. Ebe ọzọ anyị chọrọ itinye ọnụ ihe banyere ahụike ụlọ ọgwụ. Ọ bụla anyị eleme anya nke ọma anyị ga-ahụ na ndị ọchịchị anyị niile na-abịa obodo oyibo ịbịa ịgwọ ezinụlọ ha maọbụ ha onwe ha. Ndị na-enweghị mmadụ ada anwụ. Anyị onwe anyị nọkwa n'ihe ya deti anyị la balụ nna m mụrụ m bụ His Royal Highness late Eze Dr. A.U. Emonye ọ sị na otu onye mbara ụba na o metara ihe mmụọ ihe na anyị ga-emetara ihe mmụọ because we found ourselves here. Enwere more than 2-3 places, hospitals ndị nwere retainership with n'ihi ndị nọ n'ụlọ ma nwaanyị ma nọ here da-adọgbu nwaanyị n'ọlụ to make sure na onye nchọrọ ịnwe anwa agaghị enwe n'ụlọ dị ihe njikọtara garala naanị na o nwetara phone number gị ya ebaala nsogbu anyị ada ajụ sị ọgọ m nwaanyị n'aka ya nwụọ ọbịa mba igbe agaghị ili ya eli ndị otu ị ga-ime anyị banyere ndị ahụla adịghị ike because ịgwala anyị ihe wee gụrụ na ihe nwere ike ime we don't have doubt over mgbe ime dị ma gwara m okwu ma agwa esi ya lọdụ onye m sitere adị iche which I already told you mmadụ ajụ sị ndị otu ị ga-ime ndị a n'ụlọ ụlọ ahụla egbe ndewo
Prọfesọ Ndewo aha mbụ Ndubeze Adịele onye isi ala Ngwa South. Chineke aha gị mebiri gị enwe shọnị anọ m ebe North level South level Chineke aha gị mebiri gị enwe election kama abụghị ajụjụ ọ bụ advice ndị nye gị ị gakwa ime employ ndị ihe oyibo na-abịa mgbe investigation emere onye ọbụla employ because Lord supported now jụọ ajụjụ before ga-eme onye ọjọọ employ. Ndewo.
Welcome, Prof. Good to see you, sir. My question is under the debts, the current debt. Because I remember during Theodore Philology, Ogoji, before leaving office, was so much. Okay, they inherited it. Everybody forgot TA, that he's the originator of that debt. Everyone started blaming the Chiboke Zimbabwe. Okay, he's about to depart with debts, huge debt. The question is, when you inherit this debt, I know people will forget that it was from OKZ and they will start blaming you. And these debts, we all know how many months. Some of them are running to 8 months, 7 months, if I'm not mistaken. 2 years. 2 years, thank you. So my question is there a plan on how to eradicate these debts and maintain a clean slate? That's one. The second question, if you don't mind, with the security apparatus right now, is there the Bakassi system, which was very successful at the time, if you all can remember? Thank you.
Nigeria, ekelela mono. Onyeisi anyị Tobi nke anyị niile n'ebe a kpere ekpere te obumuche gị gara gị ọ bụzigbo ajụjụ ọkwa ajụjụ. Second Republic I nwere ike akpa nke nta nka na ya school like ekpere I believe ị ka na school but I pay my attention mgbe nara akpa ụka bịa profile the very rich. So mana say you have gone far. O ife Mbakwe mere. I know another allocation to states. Mbakwe was the best governor in Nigeria when we had 19 states. And I'm Rajo, without miracle, Mbakwe mere. Iweriki menanya that you would not mind being called the whipping governor, which Shagare called Mbakwe. He said it's better to answer that name and to give his people what they want. And he delivered. So Mrajo, I would get all them but as long
you are going to be our governor automatically, even now, according to my culture or culture of my own community. First, I supposed to Ekperunu FM Bo Abu Ezekiel Okpako Abmoye Mkporo Etitiama Mkporo, and Ekpakwanro floods, meaning that they are aware what is happening in the local area. So Mrase Nayugu Ekijitike, then Efokolano miracle back women. Meranya Igbo Igbo Kanuwa.
It's going to do much better than Mbakwe.
Thank you very much, Nayuku Chifidima. Pensions and retirees. One of the things that has happened that I want to tell you today is that our governors never had me. We have retired permanent secretaries in Abia State that are not up to 60 years. But because of the day they started job entry until they were given political appointments, they had left. I have asked them and requested that they should join me. I've lived in Abuja from age of 23, and I've paid a lot of price in knowing a lot of people. If you have concluded your job in the state as a director, we can transfer your services to Abuja if you are still within the age. And we get you employed into the federal system. Imagine where you'll find Abians in 42 ministries as directors. You'll find them in all the agencies and departments. And they are occupying high-level positions. And each one of them decide to write one project in the federal budget, and it will be cited in Abia. The Abia will be improved on daily basis. In 2007, I added an airstrip in Abia. It's still in that aviation ministry. But when the time comes, we go and take the paper again. It's already part of that policy. We will make sure there's an airstrip or airport, or whichever one we have it, because federal has already approved it during Obasanjo time. Our pensioners and retirees, we are doing a lot of oracle in the Yoruba oracle. We have left them totally impoverished. Permanent secretaries who are retired, they told me one day that they were asked to forget 2 years of salaries and now receive this year's salary. And they told the government that they will not do it. For those who are accountants here that ought to know what is amortization is all about, if you launch out a program to handle the retirees and concentrate in them, you will forfeit certain aspects of your luxury as governor, and you save souls of your retirees. I'm only choosing my words because I don't want to release what I have. Don't forget, I was the person that reformed the Federal Civil Service of Nigeria. So the whole Nigeria reformation of civil service and the monetization is from this brain. So 17 local government reformation should be very easy. So I assure you that it is a program within the first 100 days. Healthcare, if you go through this paper, we that also have a master's degree on healthcare management, you have what we call the primary health doctor, where from there you keep on going until to the tertiary level. In Nigeria, there's no room for everything. Everything ends up in the FMC. Once you see your primary doctor, he sends you down immediately to FMC, which means the general hospitals are not working. I I believe that soon I will work in partnership with the state government to develop the general hospital in my own area so that I can equip it and we'll see something nice for people to emulate. But when I become governor, it is a thing, it's a must for all general hospitals to be active. That's what we call creative destruction. Creative destruction, we will continue to destroy and create new things for there to be more opportunities for Abians to work.
Amen.
Imagine where all the general hospitals are working in all local government. How many people will work in that particular hospital? In Ovim, Isukwata, the general hospital there is overgrown with weed. Nothing is happening there. So every time I go to cut the grass so that I can use it for my medical people, I will cite a doctor, send a doctor in there. So it is happening everywhere. In Osisioma, the Anglican Church built a hospital. If you are going on a car, down, you will see it by the left. I wanted to send a doctor there. Just to keep, when women are pregnant, they have to leave their house 2-3 a.m. looking for kada to hop them into a bath. It is wrong. So because I have a master's degree on healthcare management, healthcare is too prime for me that I must elongate the life of every Abian. So I'm sure that healthcare will receive its major dose. I thank you for your advice. You remember we wrote the, my name was among the people that wrote the blueprint for Governor Soludo. My name was there. If you go to the list, you will see it. I was in the US here making that contribution until it was handed over to him before he got sworn in. When he said, if you want to be a commissioner, please send your CV, it means they wanted to really check who is who. We're here in the US. Once you want something from us and your proposal, whatever you are will be attached as a template. Even if you are a driver here, there's a job for you. Because I want to train as many mechanics as possible for modern cars. All the cars you send in Nigeria, don't they call you for repairs and spare parts? Yeah, there's no mechanic. Transmission, nobody knows how to repair it. So why can't we train majority to be that? We have transport companies here that move people to school every day. So if you're able to buy 2 or 3 and want to service your local government for the school, the new PS schools we're building, you're already in business. Whatever you have experience, what is important is that you've learned the act of best practice. So whatever job you are, we will be able to look at it and we'll work with you in accordance. And the issue of debt, how are you equated? Well done. When Nayukwamadi Kwetme is so rest in peace, when it was in government of Old Imo State, I was maintaining Oguta Golf. And I was when he retired and in Port Harcourt, I was doing Shilombeja House, and I'm always in his house. And we have one of our best, and I was told he's your brother, Onochan Aba. And then we're going to do great work in Aba because of the emergency we're declaring in Aba to make sure we develop. So let me go to the question you asked. The debt of the state is increasing to over 100 billion. Is it not scary? When Obasanjo entered, they showed him the debt profile of Nigeria. It was scary too. But determination is the motto, right? Yes. He went around and sought for forgiveness and was able to succeed. If anybody have loaned money to our state, has been part of any act of criminality, the person should understand that the new Abia will ask questions. Is it not?
Yes.
They will ask questions, and then we shall look for opportunities to negotiate these debts. If we negotiate this debt and we find them wanting, they will also pay the price. And they must give us space to develop the state. In all the bridges going on here in New York today, I am the only one in Nigeria that has brought in the machines that I produce the decking plate. For those in construction, they know what I mean by decking plate. If you look under each bridge, you see some corrugated steels. I produce it in Nigeria. I'm the first person to produce. So I don't find buildings, flyovers, and bridges as my problem. It's the least of my problem. I want to make sure, from what I've said here, that the debt of some of our companies, NOCO, Star Pepper Mill, I've gone to IFC, World Bank, to look at their debt profile. And I've been discussing with the family that we must adopt a government receiver so that we'll be able to now get additional money to be able to sort and revive those companies so that we can start using it to employ. If you look at the backward integration and the ecosystem you create within that area, there will be vibrancy in the state. There are a lot of dead companies. Look at PZ, look at Equitable. All of them are dead. Look at the glass factory, look at ceramic industry. We're going to revive them, and then we're going to put money in bringing, look, Iguano in Umuahia, or let's say Abia is the second largest producer of cocoa in Nigeria. But is Nestle in Abia?
No.
Everything is taken and shipped to Lagos and Abiyokuta to produce cocoa, and they ship it. So the first thing we do is set up a plant in Abia State. There will be value addition. All the agro crops that we're going to do. I have not, when you read my profile, you might be hearing about Songhai Farm, integrated farm in Port Novo. I am a director there, and I and the Reverend Father own the Nigerian Songhai. So what that is happening in my brain is that anything that will build capacity of everybody is the only thing that I see. And I don't see any obstacle because my people knows how to behave when you engage them. So just be sure that those debts will receive the attention. And then, now you ask about Mbakwe.
Sure.
I'm always with the son, Alex. 2012, I sent him to go and see if he can get the drawings that MCC used. Because we lived in Owerri in those days. He went around to Port Harcourt everywhere. There was no trace of any drawing of what happened in Aba or Maya. Even drawings for the Umuna Dam is a problem. Not to talk of Amarako power station that had been vandalized and sold. So I started to look at the new thinking. One of the days that I met President George Bush, the father, in San Francisco at the group, they gave me access to Generation 3 Plus electricity produced by Westinghouse for Nigeria. They wanted us to sign the 123 agreement, but the federal government under Yar'Adua didn't sign it, so that's why I didn't succeed using that Generation 3 Plus. But as a governor, I will do everything I can with the support of all of us here to see how we can have that type of Generation 3 Plus mechanism to give light. It takes 75 years to give light using that particular system. But I will not mention a lot of things. So Mbakwe has done his own. within the time he did, but our own is coming with a new and complete blueprint. That's why I'm designing Aba. I gave the drawing out today so that they can show here.
Yes.
I gave the drawing, I gave him. So you see what I'm coming to do with Aba. So I'm going to surpass him because I will take Onhofia, I will take almost all the local government into cognizance by what I wrote here in local government. Let me tell you something. You are from Boro.
Yes.
You know there are two sides of Nkoro, your side and the other side.
Yeah, we have that.
Okay, you know they are building a big town hall today.
Yes.
I'm the one building it for them. You saw Ndukwe, Honorable Ndukwe. The water system I've harnessed for him.
Yes.
And then we gave your community using the perennial water there. Yes, it's me that is doing it from my university. It is my geologists that are there helping to do it for you guys. The essence of our university is to make sure that we bring the best practices, the knowledge, to bear on our people. Even Onhofia has no water, but I've designed the Onhofia water system. The same way I designed every water system per local government. I was secretary to Abia Elders Forum. And later they changed me to become Director of Research and Development. So what afforded me now is that they handed over Abia Development on my palm. So I started touring everywhere and started designing what Abia will be. So God has already given me that pathway and I will deliver on them. Mbakwe, Opara, we shall celebrate them, give them their colloquium. But I believe and pray that one day I will celebrate them.
There is area I touch. You have not touched that area. The finance. How do you get the money? Because that is the problem. Most of the governors will tell us there is no money. What they give to Abia is not enough to develop Abia.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I ask, are you going to behave like Mbakwe, who go to the central government and tell the president, give us loan, let's develop our state. Our state is in Nigeria. When we develop our state, where are we developing Nigeria? That's the question I'm asking.
You see, sir, don't worry, sir. The issue of finance, I told you that I've been in Abuja for too long. And there's no person coming to be president of Nigeria that will not call me by my name, Ibe. I have access, I know what to do. I will reach out to people you don't know, in and out of Nigeria. We have the West African free trade, African free trade. And I'm working for many presidents in the whole of Africa. So I know what to do. I have to create the relationship that will give us the money. There are a lot of finances. Presently, we are trying to get money for railway from Europe before this man resigned from the Ministry of Transport. You read that he went to Europe seeking for money for railway. I am the one that did that railway. In Abia State, we have 17 stops on the railway. 17 stops. So what stops us from buying coaches of... We have people from Abia here working in train, this thing. We will get them in, go to India and buy coaches, and then the thing will be running from Port Harcourt to Enugu, is it not? Yes. And come back, goods and things will go. It will reduce the cost of transportation. Once you have it and you create that opportunity, like Aba has the high potentials of having a logistics hub. Many people knows what logistics here is all about. So logistics hub is critical for Abia to succeed. Why I don't want to mention a lot of things is if I keep on saying my plans, this video will be viral. But imagine where there's a deep sea port coming in Akwa Ibom. There's one, there's a One port. There's another deep sea port coming in Port Harcourt. There's one in Bayelsa. And the East-West Road, when completed, has a railway. Where are they heading to? All the goods are heading to Aba. And by the time I finish the Obako, former slave seaport, I have the biggest hub to build warehouses. If I ask you to go and build warehouses, and just have goods stored there. Presently, as I speak, every white cement that comes to Nigeria is offloaded in Aba. So if I make a logistic hub, everybody in Nigeria, all shops will come and then put their requisition straight to Aba, and goods will be moving. There are a lot of things to do for Aba to generate money for government.
Yes.
Abia, where's one? Ahambo Chief Godwin is the matter. I'm on here, Oboro. And they put on my local government area. Ihemla atra ikutarego. So many people see the baga olo, no position, and later they fell. About how I fell on it. That godfatherism. Abia now the party president, the people that formed it, they feel that it's their own, that they will determine for you. Those are the things. Nemeno yadeka iseba geba gifelo. Hang amount of pressure even to your wife that you cannot even sleep in the house. When you come back, the pressure they will mount on her will even make you that you cannot sleep. And bringing people to you that will make you not to function. So, how are you promising us that you're going to face that godfathering?
It's a very interesting question. Do I wait for another?
Yes, we have 2 more, sir.
Abia Kano. Onye sika. High Excellency. Nkema uga jojo. On we fem check by ma okay before ma continue after mo Christian okwa. Oga umonye on hafia. Before I do this gathering, when we feel me when you touch him, my spirit is this is our government. Ogus on made the sign of cross. I met to my home, so oh my God. So you went ahead when you were talking to us, saying you were a member of Scripture Union, and I was in Benaga State University. The way you are upbringing, and anybody, whether in Chineke, Busuzo, everything in Jeremiah, they're already successful. So I want to say, continue. Don't relent. Steady. High Excellency, always support him in prayers. And remember also that you are not for just one person or some groups. You are for everybody. And we'll be praying with you too. You must succeed. You are already our governor.
Thank you, Christina. Please, I'm the one moderator because I have somebody here.
Prof na nwunye ede wonu. Aha mbụ Obioma Onwuka abụmonye mba. Enwere m ajụjụ atọ m chọrọ. The first one bụ by the grace of God, you are going to be the next governor of Abia State. With God, there is nothing impossible. With God, everything is possible. In Jesus' name. So my question is, Olotu igesi bambo hona election ana igi because I know the history in Abia State and a league election all the time. So okay, I'm out strategies pushing her from rigging the election because they are ready. They are ready for you. Ahamana, you are the most qualified person to be the next governor. The Haga also Hagi Irudia. That's one. The second one, in terms of healthcare, like you mentioned before, you want to plan, you want machines may analyze, test. Abia State, and because one of the issues people in Abia State, he made a lab test, is sent there to South Africa. I got South Africa, I got me analyzed before we had a year back, and before they made China, sometimes only have one. So the next question about the next question I'm job. Like now you want universities, you want to plan as the next governor of Abia State, and you claim already as the next governor of Abia State. Ole he give merani so that when you pass a university, ega medical school, ya ho chahaya, my family eje go hagi eje me bribe. The next day, onya haga haya, and those want to take is in aka so that can subsidize your tuition. Abia State universities and even your own university, so that the one no law I give me afford a school and anyone support one hand 24/7 just to support our families back home. There one.
Abia State internally generated revenue. In one idea, Makanagan and Lila na Makota and deep Ibikwanga, Bikura Nolo, in my hair Naga Nolo. In na Dili Juwa, Eputalo, Otishi, Ganande, Abia University, Uturu, Shiweme. Then I went Abia University in Abako, Polytechnic, just lose all the accreditation recently. I had worked with Board of Internal Revenue before from Nigeria. And one of my ideas was to Aishina Nakatoto and Anapateko for Abia State. Today, I was the chairman of the Board of Internal Revenue. I politicized a latter position, which I was here before. Kubwa, I was the one that I was the chairman. Because in one idea, eco lend the Abia, then what they from internally generated revenue. Besides the subsidy, the federal government in the year, and then the allocation, whatever where I know what to go from oil. Because I could well lend the animal, like you know, I need a longer maka. I got a molo last year. One of my not even I meeting, council meeting, and on a very serious note, I was highly emotional, and I'm still emotional because I got a home in here. I got a guany now, yo. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know, boy. I got to be an Abia. I na chonye ga potano bia to share here. Oh, yeah, a pota. Na Dojina, I can Switzerland, billions of dollars, never. I can America, billions of dollars, never. Eka or the Jukweleju, Umunana, Bahademana, wash it. Because immortal, Eko, the Abian within our lap, Shagiche. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. There was a time 1 year ago they published the internal general revenue of states. Ebonyi State receives more internal general revenue than Abia State. And
Money. Are we good? Okay. Well, Thank you.
I want ready, so I'll come to you later.
I want to hear you here. Maybe I got them markets over there at the same time. Okay. I'm must know. Come out something as from Massachusetts. Okay. Also, how do you intend to ward off pressure from the so-called career politicians? Someone know what I hear you.
The first question is from Godwin, right? Chief Godwin, who dealt on Godfatherism. And you also said they will come through different angles, many angles. If I must tell you frankly, that was what denied me PDP ticket. They said they established that if they now start to pass bills that I will not be signing, that I know something too much, that in all sectors that I'm number one. They will even say that genius, Ego State. That Nanga block all avenues, and that they should never allow me be the candidate of PDP. That was how I was taken off. Whereas APGA, the chairman and all the stakeholders says, we want accountability. We want a better leader to give us the best. Let there be development in Abia because something is wrong. Systemically, they are crying. Abia is crying. They want a change in Abia. They've tried to succeed, and election they won were taken off their leg. So they wept. So each time, they are looking at the best coming to lead Abia. Godfatherism, I've said it here, and I told my people here in New York that if you are coming to me, be prepared. As a scout boy, our slogan will be prepared. If you come to me with a flimsy document, it will not see the light of day. And my wife is here. He knows that there are things you don't pass around me at all, except it is worth the time. And they couldn't be Abia, they are new Kempa. Because ego man me the VC every time the lay down rules. Only make boss boss now like this, only make quota. So boss the VC will correct them based on the lay down procedure. Here America lay down procedure. And here bat office so it will procedural document for you to use to execute your job. Gaga's Wenike on a drug in America. Can you do this for me? I say, I'm done with you. That is the law. That is the situation. You go to another person, he said, I can't help you. That is what is the situation. So I have prepared myself over years that if you don't push me around, the people will stand first, so far as I'm concerned. I have a mandate to make sure things work for me. So Godfatherism is not in APGA, because so far as I'm the leader of APGA in the States. I'm the leader of APGA in the States. So again, because all my chairman, who is a Reverend Ehemere, and the secretary, who is Chief Son. All these people, the first thing you see in APGA is a big Bible. I get now you're Jehovah, Onyaga is Roshi Bear for anywhere. Because the thing I had with my partner, the Israeli man, we shook hands when we became partners in 1999. We said, the more you cheat your partner, the more you pay 1 million times. So in my research, I proved it that all ill-gotten money dies after 10 years. From 10 years, the person knows die for one hour. He is very 419 10 years. So you have to live a life that God will be happy with you. And He opened doors, unexpected doors. I know all the white people in the US here who want to put money in Nigeria, and they are coming Easter. Even when my father died, they flew down to bury my father in Smithsonian Institute in Washington. All the headship there, including Dr. Jonathan Cole, All of them, they know me. Major General Charles that built the road coming from Virginia, where you have the toll gate. These are my friends. He used to be the chairman of board for Tuskegee. So I know a lot of people here in the US that will definitely help us with funds. And whether it's Europe or it's in Asia, I have friends that will help. So I'm sure that godfatherism will not come because I'm the man next to God. I am the godfather to many, so I will not encourage them. So the other question came from Christiana. Okay, you said I should follow my godly ways. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then from Nayuko Bioma Omuka, he said 3 questions. We are happy today that there's new electoral act. The new electoral act has reduced rigging to about 70%. I'm telling you. We have observed it in Ekiti and Osun in the last election. The most popular candidate, the choice of the people, comes to play. Once you tell the people, Enyege Gorie, but Nekweba Naga, also you have 1 billion na polling booth. I don't think there's any Abian today that want to go back to Egypt where they are now. So there's a mass movement on voting whom they know, who has Fole Ha Ododo, no good Miri, who has responded to them in the time of their need, whom they know that has an address where they can rely upon. If Uturu so they are all prepared. So the rigging cannot come again. It is, you can imagine the rigging the other party did in their primaries. They are still having issues in the court today because they manipulated the 3-man delegates. So you can imagine the problem they are facing today. So the law is no respecter of person. And then today, law in Nigeria keep coming until it becomes the 4th Amendment, where obstruction of justice is becoming more definite for jail term than even the crime. So it will soon happen in Nigeria. So I've told you about the healthcare. That 4 years before 2020, I started selling molecular lab equipment so that we can identify strange diseases. Most of the labs in Nigeria use just blood, but I brought the one that used molecule to identify diseases. So I train people on it across Nigeria. So medical equipment in my school alone, from dental to eye clinic to physiotherapy, if you see what I have, no school, no university have it in Nigeria. Now talk less of me setting up a 1,000-bed teaching hospital. And I'm doing the medical gas piping, the nitrogen piping, all to make sure that everything is as found here in the US. I've passed through some level of training here, and including healthcare. I've been sick a couple of times, and I was treated here in the US. And each time I enter anywhere, I do copy. I do copy. And my children are doctors here, so they keep on telling me what next to do. By next month, you know the prosthesis that they use for surgery, the companies are coming to Uturu to come and look and discuss with me how they will set up the plant in Abia so that we can be producing everything required to do all major orthopedic surgery in Nigeria. So this is what my son is bringing down home. So equipment is not a problem. In Abia, you cannot have you can't see MRI or radiation equipment. It is bad. But for sure, as soon as I get in there, those 100 days, every health situation will be put to check because there are equipment there. I have the cost. I can call you the cost of all the radiation equipment that I require for Abians. I have the thing in my head. And then the last question is assurance of the school tuition. You know why in the US, when your son graduates and you're walking and your neighbor is telling you congratulations, he knows what you have passed through. When they keep on telling me in Nigeria, please, Oga, I want to go to America and go to school, parents will be disturbed. I said, Indian citizen, Melumala, I have almost 20,000 and more. Maka school. You want to know sitting with a scholarship, except when I got the sports inclined or got a scholarship. See, or did quiz the Ebanho? I said, no, free Ghana here. My son, Guno Ghana. Maharu Tizreba, or Taja, and degrees in Hawaii. Degrees, we have to get that every semester is 1,500. St. Kim's, Hana go 10 semesters. 10 semesters, 1,500. Plus taxes, on $18,000. Hakom has him, but anyway, same each semester 1,500. Marcia and Urulena. Ghana, Ukraine, Kyiv, that's the same thing. They lower the money, but they know that university education is not cheap. I'm the lowest charging private university so far as medical education is concerned in Nigeria. Yet I'm the best equipped because I'm not owing any bank in this world. I'm not owing any individual in this world. So it is best you do what is right because 350 Abians from 17 local governments of Abia are in full scholarship at my university. So I know that by the time you ask questions in your community, you'll find that one of your relations is right there having free education. Bursary are no more paid in the state as far as children are concerned. There are a lot of ways what I call the financial aid plan, which we do here, is it not? I've asked the federal government to adopt financial aid plan so that we can deal with 60% of Nigerian youth from the north who have not seen higher education. We have 44% of the total number of Nigerians, about 8 million to 100 million youths in Nigeria. 60% of them are from the north. And in Anambra, what you suffer there is boys out of school, girls go to school. And it's becoming the norm today because it's more girls going to school in Nigeria than the boys because every boy says, no, leave me, I'm going for one business or the other. So the issue of school fees, whether you reduce it or increase it, but if you have a financial aid plan, that you can borrow money or be borrowed money to, and when you finish school, you keep on paying, and then it will be easier for you to go to school and obtain what is the best. Salaries of teachers are not paid, but when the time comes, when we get into government, the teachers will receive their pay. Just 3 days ago, Abia State University, academic staff and non-academic staff arrived at school and started prayers, begging God to find money for them because they are dying of hunger for 10 months. I was here, I had to send 500,000 to academics and I had to send 350 to non-academics so that they can see something to go back home. Because they are from Abia, they are teaching our children. I have to give them that palliatives. And I told them as soon as I come, I'm stocking all the food, rice, indomie, so that I can send to people. After the health outreach, I will help the children going to school with exercise book. I've bought some school buses here, about 4 of them. I'm going to crash the cost of transportation in Abia State so that people can start to have a relief. They are suffering in the land. And we want to make sure that they receive succor once I get into government.
Amen.
They will be part of government, and the government is them that voted me in, and we will respect their votes. Thank you.
Ready, so I'll come to you later.
And when I hear you here, maybe I got them markets over there at the same time. Okay. Mama must know. Mama come out or get something as a from Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'll say, how do you intend to ward off pressure from the so-called career politicians? Someone know what I hear you
The first question is from Godwin, right? Chief Godwin, who dealt on godfatherism. And you also said they will come through different angles, many angles. If I must tell you frankly, that was what denied me PDP ticket. They said they established that if they now start to pass bills that I will not be signing, that I know something too much, that in all sectors that I'm number one. They will even say that genius, Diego State, that Nanga block all avenues, and that they should never allow me be the candidate of PDP. That was how I was taken off. Whereas APGA, the chairman and all the stakeholders says, we want accountability. We want a better leader to give us the best. Let there be development in Abia because something is wrong. Systemically, they are crying. Abia is crying. They want a change in Abia. They've tried to succeed, and election they won were taken off their leg. So they wept. So each time, they are looking at the best coming to lead Abia. Godfatherism, I've said it here, and I told my people here in New York that if you are coming to me, be prepared. As a scout boy, our slogan will be prepared. If you come to me with a flimsy document, it will not see the light of day. And my wife is here. He knows that there are things you don't pass around me at all, except it is worth the time. And they couldn't be Abia and you came back. Because ego man me Bosamu, the VC, every time the lay down rules. Only make boss boss now only make like this, only make quota. So boss the VC will correct them based on the lay down procedure. In here America what lay down procedure. And here bat office more. So it will procedural document for you to use to execute your job. Gagas Wenike on a drug in America. Can you do this for me? I say, I'm done with you. That is the law. That is the situation. You go to another person, he said, I can't help you. That is what is the situation. So I have prepared myself over years that if you don't push me around, the people will stand first, so far as I'm concerned. I have a mandate to make sure things work for me. So godfatherism is not in APGA, because so far as I'm the leader of APGA in the States. I'm the leader of APGA in the States. So again, because all my chairman, who is a Reverend Ehemere, and the secretary, who is Chief Son. All these people, the first thing you see in APGA is a big Bible. I get better. Now you're Jehovah, Onyaga is Roshi Bear for anywhere. Because the thing I had with my partner, the Israeli man, we shook hands when we became partners in 1999. We said, the more you cheat your partner, the more you pay 1 million times. So in my research, I proved it that all ill-gotten money dies after 10 years. From 10 years, the person in those die for one hour. It is very 419, 10 years. So you have to live a life that God will be happy with you. And He opened doors, unexpected doors. I know all the white people in the US here who want to put money in Nigeria, and they are coming Easter. Even when my father died, they flew down to bury my father in Smithsonian Institute in Washington. All the headship there, including Dr. Jonathan Cole, all of them, they know me. Major General Charles that built the road coming from Virginia, where you have the toll gate. These are my friends. He used to be the chairman of board for Tuskegee. So I know a lot of people here in the US that will definitely help us with funds. And whether it's Europe or it's in Asia, I have friends that will help. So I'm sure that Godfatherism will not come because I'm the man next to God. I am the Godfather to many, so I will not encourage them. So the other question came from Christiana. Okay, you said I should continue my godly ways. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then from Nayuko Bioma Omuka, he said 3 questions. We are happy today that there's new electoral act. The new electoral act has reduced rigging to about 70%. I'm telling you. We have observed it in Ekiti and Osun in the last election. The most popular candidate, the choice of the people, comes to play. Once you tell the people, Enyege Gorie, but Nekweba Naga, also you have 1 billion na polling booths. I don't think there's any Abian today that want to go back to Egypt where they are now. So there's a mass movement on voting whom they know, who has Fole Ha Ododo, no good Miri, who has responded to them in the time of their need, whom they know that has an address where they can rely upon. If Uturu so they are all prepared. So the rigging cannot come again. It is, you can imagine the rigging the other party did in their primaries. They are still having issues in the court today because they manipulated the 3-man delegates. So you can imagine the problem they are facing today. So the law is no respecter of persons. And then today, law in Nigeria keep coming until it becomes the 4th Amendment, where obstruction of justice is becoming more definite for jail term than even the crime. So it will soon happen in Nigeria. So I've told you about the healthcare. That 4 years before 2020, I started selling molecular lab equipment so that we can identify strange diseases. Most of the labs in Nigeria use just blood, but I brought the one that used molecule to identify diseases. So I train people on it across Nigeria. So medical equipment in my school alone, from dental to eye clinic to physiotherapy, if you see what I have, no school, no university have it in Nigeria. Now talk less of me setting up a 1,000-bed teaching hospital. And I'm doing the medical gas piping, the nitrogen piping, all to make sure that everything is as found here in the US. I've passed through some level of training here, and including healthcare. I've been sick a couple of times, and I was treated here in the US. And each time I enter anywhere, I do copy. I do copy. And my children are doctors here, so they keep on telling me what next to do. By next month, You know the prosthetics that they use for surgery. The companies are coming to Uturu to come and look and discuss with me how they will set up the plant in Abia so that we can be producing everything required to do all major orthopedic surgery in Nigeria. So this is what my son is bringing down home. So equipment is not a problem. In Abia, you cannot have you can't see MRI or radiation equipment. It is bad. But for sure, as soon as I get in there, those 100 days, every health situation will be put to check because there are equipment there. I have the cost. I can call you the cost of all the radiation equipment that I require for Abians. I have the thing in my head. And then the last question is assurance of the school tuition. You know why in the US, when your son graduates and you're walking and your neighbor is telling you congratulations, he knows what you have passed through. When they keep on telling me in Nigeria, please, Oga, I want to go to America and go to school, parents will be disturbed. I said, Indian citizen, Melumala, and I would almost 20,000 and more, Makamanga school. You want to know about sitting with a scholarship, except when I got the sports inclined, or got a scholarship. See, I did quiz the Ebanho. I said, no. No, free Ghana, here. My son, Guno Ghana. Maharu Tizreba, or Taja, and degrees in Hawaii. Degrees, we have to get that every semester is 1,500. St. Kim's, Hana go 10 semesters. 10 semesters. 1,500. Plus taxes on $18,000. But anyway, same each semester 1,500. Marcia Urulena. Ghana, Ukraine, Kyiv. That's the same thing. They lower the money, but they know that university education is not cheap. I'm the lowest charging private university so far as medical education is concerned in Nigeria. Yet I'm the best equipped because I'm not owing any bank in this world. I'm not owing any individual in this world. So it is best you do what is right because 350 Abians from 17 local governments of Abia are in full scholarship at my university. So I know that by the time you ask questions in your community, you'll find that one of your relations is right there having free education. Bursary are no more paid in the state as far as children are concerned. There are a lot of ways, what I call the financial aid plan, which we do here, is it not? I've asked the federal government to adopt financial aid plan so that we can deal with 60% of Nigerian youth from the north who have not seen higher education. We have 44% of the total number of Nigerians, about 8 million to 100 million youths in Nigeria. 60% of them are from the north. And in Anambra, what you suffer there is boys out of school, girls go to school. And it's becoming the norm today. Because it's more girls going to school in Nigeria than the boys. Because every boy says, no, leave me, I'm going for one business or the other. So the issue of school fees, whether you reduce it or increase it, but if you have a financial aid plan, that you can borrow money or be borrowed money to, and when you finish school, you keep on paying, and then it will be easier for you to go to school and obtain what is the best. Salaries of teachers are not paid, but when the time comes, when we get into government, the teachers will receive their pay. Just 3 days ago, Abia State University, academic staff and non-academic staff arrived at school and started prayers, begging God to find money for them because they are dying of hunger for 10 months. I was here, I had to send 500,000 to academics and I had to send 350 to non-academics so that they can see something to go back home. Because they are from Abia, they are teaching our children. I have to give them that palliatives. And I told them as soon as I come, I'm stocking all the food, rice, indomie, so that I can send to people. After the health outreach, I will help the children going to school with exercise book. I've bought some school buses here, about 4 of them. I'm going to crash the cost of transportation in Abia State so that people can start to have a relief. They are suffering in the land, and we want to make sure that they receive succor once I get into government. Amen. They will be part of government, and the government is them that voted me in, and we will respect their votes. Thank you.
Monday?
Are we good? Okay.
Well, thank you.
Onye metụrụ ọnụ ihe gbasara Abia State internally generated revenue. Ị nwere idea? Maka na gị na ndị a niile na-akpakọta adị ibikwa nga bikwara n'ụlọ ịnwa ihe na-aga n'ụlọ ịnụ na ndị niile ji ụgwọ ekpupụtala okwu otu esi gị na ndị Abia University Uturu si wee mee. Then anyị nwere Abia State University na Aba Polytechnic just lose all the accreditation recently. I had worked with Board of Internal Revenue before from Nigeria. And one of my idea to Aishina Nakatoto and Anapateko for Abia State. Today, I was the chairman of the Board of Internal Revenue. Have politicized a latter position, which I was here before. Kubwa, I was the one that I was the chairman. Because in one idea, Echo Land the Abia, then what from internally generated revenue. Besides the subsidy, the federal government in the year, and then the allocation, whatever where I know what to go from oil. Because I could well in the like you know, I need a longer maka. I got a molo last year. Every mapa. One of my him not even I meeting, council meeting. And on a very serious note, I was highly emotional, and I'm still emotional because I got a home in here. I got a guany now, yo. I don't care. Here, I don't know, boy. I got to be an Abia. I na chonye ga potano bia tonhye he. Oh ye e pota. Bia were nke na doji na aba. Aga na Switzerland. Billions of dollars never. Again, America, billions of dollars never. Eka or the Jukweleju. Umunai na pa honde mara na wonshe. Because imoto eko ndi abia ne wote na lap. Shiagiche. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. There was a time 1 year ago. They published the Internal General Revenue of states. Ebonyi State receives more Internal General Revenue than Abia State. And these things are done in-house. Nobody can claim to know what's happening in Abia State. What I want to assure you that as soon as I become governor, most of the loopholes and whatever that has led to loss of revenue to the government, we shall make sure that those things are tamed. Don't forget, when we're growing up, Achuchago tax bicycle. Egawa hi buganye no ahia for ordinary maginere. I say Randy Anochirozo, you revise back. And actual tax 18 years and above for one apple tax. That's the law of Nigeria. So, but those things that are capped down, and we'll look at it, how to generate revenue. They are be participatory. Most of the states are not tied. I went through Port Harcourt Road in my consultations, and the more I was going down the Port Harcourt Road axis, nice road. In those good days, new edition happened in 1983. Again, the DJ Nanochana Road. So I started weeping in my car and said, "Nah, the Port Harcourt Road. This cannot be Port Harcourt Road." Houses abandoned. Believe me, it's better to discuss Aba while you are here. Don't go down. But as soon as we get in there, I'll be inviting everybody to now come and see that the state of emergency we're declaring for Aba will start taking shape. We will return Aba back. So the revenue, I can tell you that I am not in government, even if I'm talking with them. I am not deep neck into what they are doing. If you ask me about my university, what we do in international revenue, I can explain. But so far as the state is concerned, I've prepared my new program on getting funds and getting international revenue increased so that we can dwarf Ebonyi State. Because if I don't dwarf Ebonyi State, I will not be asleep.
Amen.
Prosper. Hello? Let's leave there. Okay.
Abia, good evening. Prof, this movement starting today. It's over 15 years, everybody has been expecting you to come out, and they push it, yes and no. Can you always see the motivational factor now? What motivated you? This time, everybody made it. How's that? Okay, now we kidnapping 10, 15 years ago. APGA party has happened. And let him measure it now. It's decided.
Thank you. There's something that is bothering Kingdom and inside. I need to talk about it. Is it a question?
A comment, observation, question, all rolled into one. Ladies and gentlemen, Prof. Sibe Ekelelemge, Kina Oriakogo Ugeze. I keep waiting, hoping that along the line, no one only got to about the effect of the civil service in outcomes, not just in the federal government, but in the state governments. The civil service is the bulwark. I know a lot of people have talked about pensions, retirees, and what. The civil service is an organization without which any government, not just talking in the so-called underdeveloped or developing countries, but even in developed world, without it, no government can succeed. And I have, over time, visiting Nigeria, and of course, usually I stay with Prof in Abuja. and I have found the canker worm that has eaten into the fabric of the civil service. It's not an easy sickness or disease to cure. Why I came up with this observation is that you made a comment which struck a nerve. You talked about destructive constructivism. Without it, the civil service will remain what it is, and it will remain an obstacle to any meaningful development. So here comes my question, which is the clincher. How do you intend to sanitize Abia civil service in order to be responsive to the type of government you're bringing in, and respond not just in terms of collecting or having a akan korokazum. Many are not having be way simply means you get jelly. You know, if I was well, I personally, I will need to. I know I could have come to you personally as my personal friend and brother, if I may say so. But I want it on record, in the open space that we occupy today. How do you intend to tackle that problem of the civil service?
Thank you. Let me deal with Chukwuma's question before I come to Naipu Drama. Asina eto matakiri eto mara akwa pari kuria kufushe. When I was 47 years old, I established the university. It wasn't easy to establish university at that point, but now that the university is running on its own, I'm now free to serve. Because I didn't want to come out 15 years ago and there be trouble. So I came out 2014 and the party told me to hold on. And if you belong to the party, the ideologies have to guide you. So I obeyed. And when the party want to rubbish me this time, I left them to the Igbo party. So I'm more prepared now than then, when my children were struggling to finish one medical school or the other. But today, everybody is on his or her own. Except my boy, my last boy that is 11. So the rest are all dashing me money. And then I have 3 grandchildren. So you can imagine me. So I'm free now to serve. So Chukuma, 15 years ago, you know I was struggling. So I had to complete that struggle. Today I'm free. Now you could drama like
the man we've been looking for, he decided to come home. Welcome. Because in APGA, we say Onyagala 1 year. That's our motto. APGA, APGA, Onyagala 1 year. APGA will search and produce the best. That's how we searched and produced obedience. Because he was made in APGA.
That's true.
After we made him, now he became public property. But his initial stage, APGA was the initial stage. Yes. Now, Abia State is in dire need of resurrection, and no other person qualified to do that but our incoming Prof. Greg Ibe. In Abia, he has it all. Because if you look at the map of Nigeria, with skill G, the dot is too much. So if we dot that in Abia State, China, watch out. And I will use this opportunity to tell you people, thank you for coming. This is just the beginning. We are all fishers of men. Since we are here, please, there are people you feed back home. Tell them, if you want me to send you anything anymore, this is where you're going. For people like me, I'll be there. I have my PVC in my pocket. Yes, and if you can, let's go home. Because we cannot say you people, it's all of us. Because if we keep pointing hand, you see this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So we all collectively, we have to fix our place. They will.
But I was also told that if you're interested, you can come to me for a shout out to our Prof, His Excellency, the incoming Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Prof. Ibe. All right, so if you want to do that, meet me after. So after the prayer, Pastor, are you ready for us? Okay. Yes, we'll watch the video after.
Biko ka anyị kwụrụ n'ụkwụ anyị abụọ. Onye nwe anyị Chineke dị mma, anyị rịọrọ gị arịrịọ sị gị mee ka ọgbakọ a nye aha gị otuto. Ị zara anyị ekpere. Anyị bịakwa ugbo ebe chọrọ mma mma n'ihi na ihe anyị rịọrọ gị mere anyị. Dịkwa nwanne anyị nwoke. The Bible said that Goliath was organized, but David was not organized. That means that the weapon which David used in destroying Goliath was not an organized weapon. Wokorobiana, ndi buribu na ndi nwere mmadụ. Nandile Bruno Nubina had the highly influential in the government. Obunde Baraya Buruburu. Manoti he Nemesiano di Kebo, Ahaya, Gregory. The meaning now say, be watchful, be alert. Because the devil goes like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. Na nige Chineke na-enye mmadụ ike onye ahụ edere watchful. Ọ bụ na-enyekwa mmadụ ike ịdị at alert at any time. Anyị na-arịọ sị gị bịa gbaa ya ogige. Mee ya dịka ị kwadoro David. Ụtọ gị bụ na your presence in his life will show him the unprotected forehead of his Goliath. Ị nọrọ ihe na-apụghị ime. Nare ekele n'ihi na eza wekpere. Onye ọbụla bịara ebe a dulakwa ya n'udo n'ọṅụ. N'aha gị Jesus Christ bụ onye nwanyị.
Thank you, Pastor Eze. We have the video. Please, you could sit and watch the video. And then take drinks. We have a lot to drink and a lot to eat. And then Zoom. Did you tell Zoom people to still hold on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are still there.
They're still Prof.
Chairman, in a block cameraman. Watch.
Erosion the moon here. Those like that are big of the
and then the only hub in Africa called Innovation Hub in Abuja. Then my company called Skillg.
Daluso, thank you so much. Daluso, I nekenegi. No postata, I nilanya fuki ne kuoku hini na agano postata. Bukana ko bisu wede kandi bunu bunde Abia State is wena batag no postata. Nkokana email no postata.
Here no postata. The Konya na zone so ndoro chichi. The gada woman na gi na so. And eben bi na New York, ebu mo so bite na New York. Am make your one mo nze. Webem na aga. Le kwa ihe choro ka hatiri mo akanu. America na aga ka this is the first time only the American against election in Nigeria. Okay, we have best practices. We have
Daluso, onwe hi ga-agwa ndị be anyị nọ n'ụlọ n'ihe mere n'ụbọchị tata kele ihe ga-agwa ha mee na ọchịchị na-abịa na ihe gbasara elekshọn na-abịa kele nkasi obi na-enye ha ka ihe na-agwa ha na ị ga-emere fa ka ihe na-agwa ha ka ha mee ka adịshọn etinyere onye bụ onye kwesịrị ịnọdụ bụ gị nwa kele okwu inwe ịgwa ndị nọ n'ụlọ
ndị niile ndị ebe anyị nọ n'ụlọ abịa ndị enweghị mmanụ ka onye ejiri ya rere ya ana m anyị nsi unu na nwatakịrị gbarala 24 years onwe ihe ọ pasịtara elekwa n'isi ya ana m asị unu na ugbu a bụ oge ndị Igbo gbakọrọ ọnụ ewepụta pati APGA ka APGA nwee ike ime chenji anyị chọrọ Abia steeti ndị Abia steeti niile biko nwanne m nwanna m nne na nna biko unu gba ọsọ weta PVC ka unu nwee ike ka anyị tụpụ ndị ọbụla wee tụnyere mụnwa nwa aha m bụ nnukwu aha na Abia steeti aha m bụ nnukwu aha eji aga mba nke ọbụla etụnyere m ọ ga-abụ ezigbo onye nọnyere obodo unu n'ihi na obodo niile nọ n'Abia ka a ga-emepe ha n'otu ahịrị ụbọchị na-aga anyị ga na-enwesa ọma na-ekele Chukwu mere na mgbe bata na ọchịchị Abia steeti.
Daluso anyị na-ekele gị na-asị biko n'imechi onyonyo anyị na-eme kịta kelee ekpere ị ga-ekpelu ndị Abia steeti.
Abia steeti ataga ahụhụ mana Jehova onye ime eluigwe onye kere m nwa kee ha ekwugo from 2023 ihe ọma ga-abịakwute ndị Abia a ga-eweta ọchịchị ọhụrụ nke mụnwa ga-anọ n'isi ya ga-emenụ ka onye ọbụla wee chịa ọchị a sị na mgbe onye ọma Jehova nọ na ọchịchị na ndị ụwa na ndị obodo dị ha enwe obi ụtọ.
Daluso nna anyị na-ekene gị biko Daluso Chineke gọzie gị ọ ga-abalụ gị ebe ime wepụtara obi bịafụ ndị ụlọ tata ọ ga-adịrị gị na mma Daluso anyị na-akwacha imechi onyonyo na na-asị gị Daluso Chukwu gọzie gị.
President of Abia Association.
Okay, a na-asị gị Daluso Chineke gọzie gị ọ na-asị biko ka ihe niile mee n'ụbọchị tata dị ka ihe inwe ikwu.
Yeah, a wonderful outing for Dr. Prof. Onye guy is profile, and I watched what he said. And at this point in Abia State, I need somebody that can deal more than that from the problem handled. It has been for so many years. This federalism and all this things and I get through has not worked for 20-something years. So I know you're what do you mean? The book one normal road in Chile, live up again. What do you mean? I put them down that
Dalo so onwe thing we keep one day no basali he me no bostata.
Yes, we keep one day no. We boni squad. We boni the best candidate which is a prophecy. I got the real because it's taking this message, this information to your families, to the younger ones, to your grandmothers who doesn't know. Most people are what man, I name him endorse. I name him endorse because of his credibility, his pedigree. Man, I know me, I know possible as the so I ask you, I have party. I want the most important person. God of Tandia, patient, and I got retirees in the town. This kind of things like that too. If those are the nothing. Moses are good. Only when I presidents, all that things on and all the writing to publish also. So we can my union like I support
that also because when I forgot so
I am chief manuality na abu monye model squad.
Okay, that also
abu chairman of the association.
Okay, that also all right. And then making a kwabiko kola onye bu
aha mo ezenwa Christian
okay I na-enye ekene na ajụghị biko n'ihe menu bụ stata ka ihe inwe ikwu
obi dị m ụtọ na ha mere taa because onye bịara kwuru anyị okwu bụ my governorship candidate of APGA APGA Abia atala ahụhụ ọ ya mere ji ndị APGA ji na-anya asa anyị na mmiri ka chọta onye ga-ebịa meziere and I know do it.
Daalụ so ke okwu ndụmọdụ nwere ike inye ma ọ nere onyonyo a afọ ihe ikwu ke ndụmọdụ nwere ike inye n'ụbọchị tata gbasara election na-abịa
election na-abịa onye ọ grassroots ka awụ nke ndị INEC na-azụ ọ mere na INEC election nke grassroots onye ọbụla wụ onye nwafọ Igbo nwafọ Abịa ga-etinye aka ebe ahụ esere ọkụkọ ọ bụ ka ọsọ anyị ga-emechi Abịa emezie ọzọ ka anyị bata bịa mejie ya ndị Abịa na ndị APGA anyị na-eme produce ndị na-eme ihe anyị wa produce obi na onye ọbụla dị obedient na amakwa m na Greg chief ibe bata ọ ga-emejikwa Abịa
daalụ sọ ka ekpere pụrụ iche inwe n'ebe ọ nọ ka ekpere na-ekpere n'ụbọchị taa
ekpere m na-ekpere ka Chineke duo ya ọrụ Chineke si Abịa ọrụ ndị Abịa na ndị Abịa mkpa na-ekwukwe na ndị Abịa anyị ga-enye ya n'okwu ndewo
daalụ sọ nna anyị na-ekene biko kwekwara anyị afọ ọzọ
awụ Christian eze nwoke the founding member of APGA in New York 2002 ndewo
daalụ sọ nna thank you nna anyị na-ekene biko kwekwara anyị na-afụ n'onyonyo
aha m Amadi Ibekwe onye Abia steeti Mgbere
daalụ sọ anyị na-ekene biko kwekwara anyị ka obi si wee dị gị n'ụbọchị tata
tata onye ọbụla bịara ebe ata mana ihe mere ebe na ihe mere o nwere ka Chukwu na-esi arụ ọrụ ndị Abịa anaghị azụ Abia steeti kwesịrị iwu steeti wụ n'ụwa na-agba fest na bigole na sisa ịwa Naịjirịa mana Abịa na-agba azụ mana Chukwu emetụ ofu onye Abịa aka n'obi si ya pụta ga-kpọpụta ụmụ Izrel n'Ijipt onye Abịa were wụrụ mmanụ mmadụ dịka prọfesọ Greg Ibe ka Chukwu metụrụ aka ine nwoke efo na nwoke zuru eme obi New Yorker ize New Yorker ihe niile tosigo gasị akwụkwọ ndị nwekọ ndị egwu jide ya sụtacha ụmụ ya niile ọfụma wee nọta ka onye aka mezi na-abịa ime obodo a na-akpa aba adịrọ mma so mmadụ dịka Greg bụ onye anyị hụrụ ga-eme ka Aba bịa chekwa na pozishọn na kwesịrị nọ na Naịjirịa ekpozi abasị ọtọ ugwu na mmadụ dịka Greg ọnwa Aba amụrụ na Aba bụkwa nwa New York that's two things Greg nwere ga-enyere ya aka to develop Abia steeti tobido na America bịa na Aba bịa n'ọlụ ụwa adala so kita ka Abia onye ga-emesi Abia ọ bụrụkwala ife asị na nwa afọ ga-eru Aba nwa afọ ga-eru Abia nwa afọ arụsịrị na Aba na onye lọ steeti nwere the law the heart na-efi the passion here the state na-aga through onye ga-arụ that state so tata
Dalụsọ nna anyị na-ekene biko gwakwana ya afọ gị ọzọ
afọ ngwa Amadi Ibekwe.
Dalụsọ thank you all right oke nna anyị na-ekene gị biko ka nwekwala anyị nke bụ afa gị nọọsụ n'ime Dalụsọ biko ka eke obi si wedị gị n'ihe a na-eme n'ụbọchị taata
obi jupụtara m n'aṅụrị n'ihi na erela Abia steeti the obi ụtọ m today na ndị sokwara na ya eji Sea of Hope so ọ ga-awakwu onye obi anyị nọ n'ebe ọ nọ ga-abịa meziere anyị Abia steeti meziere anyị Aba ebe a mụrụ anyị mụ ọwa onye Ebonyi steeti amụrụ ihe ahụ Aba so ama m na Chineke na-emere ihe o kwesịrị ime ma iwepụtara anyị onye ndu a anyị achọrọ ndị ọchịchị anyị chọrọ ndị ndu onye ga-edu anyị ọfụma onye ọbụla nọ n'Aba adị happy na-enweta benefit o kwesịrị inweta ma ndị nkụzi ma ndị na-arụ ọrụ oyibo ụdị onye nke a na-abịa ọhụrụ na Chineke kwadoro anyị a sị nke a nwụ nke anyị Chineke ga-eme ihe o ji wuru chi oke ndị Abịa eruo ha aka because a sị na onye ije ka onye isi awọ ịma ihe nwanne anyị nwoke a na-ewepụtara bụ onye ije ọ gaala ebe dị iche iche nwee akọ na uche Chineke ga-eme ya ome ihe o kwesịrị ime Abia steeti adị mma ọwụ the wrong person thank God for today na ihe niile gara ọfụma n'aha Jizọs
amen Dalụsọ biko gwekwara ya nke bụ afa gị ọzọ
aha m
Lọsụ n'ume Dalụsọ
ihe eji mara m na Aba City Father yes
Dalụsọ nnọọ City Father ịbụ ezigbo mmadụ Dalụsọ
ebikwere m na Abuja bịa vacation na New York
Dalụsọ
ilegharị otu obodo si dị na-ekelekwe Chineke ihe mgbe ekwesịrị m ịgawa my state bụ North Carolina today but because of this event m sị ka m nọrọ ka m nwee one or two speech m ga-drop iji gwakwa gị na m dị happy
Dalụsọ thank you nna anyị na-ekene biko kọwala onye Igbo
afa m bụ Maazị Uduma Okoro Ezike ị gaa na obodo m maka ahụ m onye ebe mmụọ afịa n'Abia steeti
Dalụsọ Chineke gọzie gị biko ka obi si wedị gị n'ihe eme n'ụbọchị tata ka ndụmọdụ ị nwere ebe inye Prof nke na-achọ ịzọ gọvanọ na Abia steeti ka onye ndụmọdụ ị nwere ebe ọ nọ
ndụmọdụ m nwere n'ebe prọfesọ Greg Ibe nọ anaghị ebe akwa ugboro atọ ugboro anọ Abia ebego akwa onwe ihe na-aga nke ọma n'ebe Abia nọ Prof ka Prof mere anyị ihe anyị tụrụ anya ya rute ya agbanwe Abia ka onye ukwu ma onye nta ga-ahụ ihe dị mma n'ime ya maka na ihe niile na-eme na Naịjirịa ọ kasị njọ na-abịa. Anyị enweghị ụzọ, anyị enweghị mmiri, anyị enweghị ụlọ ọgwụ. Onwe ha nwere ndị rụrụ ọrụ rụcha lawa ọnịnọka, onwe onye a na-akwụ ụgwọ. Ndị na-arụ arụ, onwe onye a na-akwụ ụgwọ. Ka ọ gbanwee ya, ka ọ dịrị anyị mma. Maka anyị nwa n'ọhịa, ọwa anyị na-ata ahụhụ ya. Maka ma nwanne gị nọ na Naịjirịa ma akwụghị ụgwọ, onye o ledere anya ga-nye ego ọ ga-eji rie nri ụgị nwa n'ọhịa. Anị ya nwa ma inye gị ya ọnwụ nọ na ọnụ ụzọ. Onye anyị kwere na-emeso.
Daalụ sọ nna m, anyị na-ekene gị na-asị Chineke gozie gị. Nke bụ afa gị ọzọ o?
Uduma Okoro Ezikpe.
Daalụ sọ, Chineke gozie gị. Daalụ. Nna m na-ekene gị biko o. Biko nke bụ afa gị biko kọwara anyị na afọ.
Aha m wụ Sa Ifeanyị Ajọmiwe Nwakamma.
Daalụ sọ o. Nna ya afọ gị n'isi oche ka onye bụ na ihe a na-eme n'ụbọchị tata ka ebu ihe bụ your performance.
Ihe m bụ na awụ m osote onye isi ndị Igbo dum nọ na New York ka a na-akpọ Vice President. Ọkwa na aha onye isi anyị na-anọghị ya, onye m nọchitere ọnọdụ ya. Anyị si ka anyị bịa nụ ihe Prọfesọ Gregory nwanne anyị nwoke na-azọ gọvanọ bụ Abia steeti, ka anyị nụ ihe ọ ga-egwu anyị. Ọkwa na mụwa onye isi so chịkọta ya wụ mmemme mere taa. Ọ pụtaghị na m onye pati kama na emere m ya maka na onye ọbụla onye wu onye Abịa bụ onye Abịa bụ onye Ụmụahịa Abia steeti. Onye ọbụla wụ onye Ụmụahịa onye ọbụla wụ onye Abịa na-azọ ọchịchị batara n'obodo a kpọtụrụ anyị ga-etikwere ya ka mee otu ihe ịhụ na anyị jiri this time anyị họpụtara onye ga-abụ ezigbote mmadụ ga-achị Abịa nke ọma.
Daalụ sọ o. Ke ndụmọdụ na okwu nwere ike ịgwa Prof n'ihe gbasara elekshọn a na ọ na-abịa ime nke ihe nwere ike ịgwa.
Yes, ihe m chọrọ ịgwa Prof wụ ka ọ na-aga ije na-ekwe nkwa ihe ọ ga-emere ndị ahụ. O jisi ike hụ na ihe ọlọ ha okwu na onwe ihe ọ ga-eme. O nwere ike gwa ndị mmadụ ihe o megoro eme. Anyị mara ihe mere eme bụ Prof megoro eme. Anyị esi ga makwara onye wụ anyị chere ga wụ ezigbote mmadụ ga-achị Abịa. Ọtụtụ oge ihe na-eme n'ụwa ndị mmadụ bịa ha ịgwa anyị nkwa elu n'ala. Mgbe oge o ruru ime agaghị enwe ike imenwe ihe ha gwara anyị na nkwa. Anyị atatala ahụhụ anya ndị Abịa, anyị atatala ahụhụ, anyị alala azụ ihe nne. Ndị ọzọ ụmụ na ndị Igbo ndị ọzọ nọchara obodo dị iche iche na-emezi nke ọma karịa anyị nwa n'obodo anyị nwa Abia steeti na Naịjirịa. So anyị chọrọ ka anyị meghe anya anyị jiri nwayọọ nke ugbu a họpụta ezigbote mmadụ ga-achị Abịa, mee anyị nwe ụlọ ọgwụ, mee ụlọ akwụkwọ na-aga nke ọma, nwee ụzọ arụ na arụ, nwee ọganihu na Abia steeti. Maka ike agwụla anyị, onye bịa otu ihe ahụ ya chịchakwa anyị nọkwa ebe anyị nọ. So anyị na-atụ anya na onye ọla ga-achị Abịa ugbu a ga-wụ onye ga-emere anyị ihe obi ga-adị anyị mma. Ọ ga-awa anyị na-ekwu okwu anya si yes na onye a dị ka desa mba.
Daalụ sọ, anyị na-ekele gị biko ka ọ gwala ya afa gị ọzọ o.
Aka m asị m na aha Sa Ifeanyị Ajọmiwe Nwakamma.
Daalụ sọ nna, anyị na-ekele gị. Chineke gọzie gị ebe i mere ihe nke dị otu a. Daalụ sọ o.
Ndewo.
Okay, all right.
Ndewo.